I'm not going to lie, whenever I graduated from Nazareth, the only road I wanted to be on was the one out of town. I thought I was never going to come back to this place. But when you get out and experience the world and realize that, man, a lot of the things I really want in life were right back there. It's nice that you can come back and have a place where your roots are and your family's still here and you can call it home still. I'm Alan Birkenfeld, and we are here at the headquarters of Paidome Meats in Nazareth, Texas. Everything we do comes from the sun and the land. And I wanted to tie it also back to the people that were here. And before our German ancestors came over, it was the Comanche and Kiowa tribes who were here. I didn't know any Comanche, but I knew one Kiowa Indian, and he said their words for sun and land were pie and dome, and hence the name Paidome Meats. Well, I came back from getting my master's degree in Utah in 1994, and at the time I was single and really didn't have a plan for what I was going to do. I just realized that I no longer thought becoming a professor was for me. I had these ideas about ruminants on pasture, and that's where they needed to be, and since I had nothing to really hold me back, when I came back here for my sister's wedding, I decided to stay and try some of these ideas. And when my dad asked me what I was going to do, he had pretty much already parted ways with all the equipment, with all the siblings who were staying around here, and so there really wasn't a land base or an equipment base to start with, which, looking back on that, was very fortunate for me because it allowed me to go a different way. So he leased me this draw behind us, and that's where I started with 11 cows on September the 28th of 1994. And I'll still remember his words about this not being cow country, because we were mostly feeder country, where we brought in calves from the outside, from southeast Texas or southeast US, and fed them out on pasture till they were ready to go to the feed yard. Our grass is not a lot of it, but it's very good nutrition, so it's good for that. And as he said, there's a reason you don't see a lot of cows in this country, but now you do. Things have changed since then. I would talk with these professors at various colleges that I was at and just ask them, you know, here we were taking an animal, namely a bovine, a calf that could go and take a roughage that we couldn't consume and convert it into something that we could consume, i.e. meat. And here we were taking it and putting it in a yard, confining it and feeding it grains that we could utilize. And its system was designed, ecologically speaking, for something entirely different. You know, it just didn't make a lot of sense. And I realized how that whole system came about after World War II, but I think there's people who would rather have an animal raised a different way. And I love free enterprise, I love choice. I don't badmouth the feedlots, and I hope they don't badmouth what I'm doing. I think people vote every day when they take $1 out of their pocket and they buy something. They're saying make more of that. Our livestock don't get any antibiotics. We don't even vaccinate. We go that far because we run a fairly closed system, and I've never had any problems in what are we going on, 20-some years. I've never had a problem with an animal dying of blackleg or things you vaccinate for. So in that sense, I believe we're organic. We also go beyond organic in that we're grass-fed, and that everything is finished out on pasture. It doesn't go to a feedlot. It doesn't consume a grain ration. So you get a cut of meat, and this is not me talking here. This is the research that has more nutrients. It's higher in omega-3 fatty acids, higher in conjugated linoleic acid, higher in a lot of the vitamins and minerals that people want in their food. And again, I'm not telling people that this is the end-all and be-all of meat. We just tell people what we do, how we raise them, and if that's what you want, then come see us. But the first thing I feel like we really sell is a relationship, to where people know who grew the food, how it was grown, and if we violate that relationship, then you aren't going to want to buy from us anymore. So I feel like it's about trust. I think inherently people want a connection. I think there's some farmer in all of us. You see it, one of the biggest growth areas of agriculture is urban farming. People are more into gardening. New York City, they're growing on their rooftops. You know, people just want a connection to that food, and there's some joy in being able to harvest something you grew and put it on your table.
Where do you get that connection that you're talking about?
I guess it came from the way I was raised, and I hope I can impart that on my kids as well. But having grown up, Dad he was very big into diversity. He wanted they started with just this old dairy barn here, and then went on to, and he had a crop system, but he added cattle, he added a custom harvesting operation and a custom cattle hauling, livestock hauling business. But I think he instilled a lot of that in us as kids. We all had to work our way through that dairy barn and hopefully graduate from there and move on to something that was a little more appealing part of agriculture. But I think every one of us, all 12 of us kids, had a piece of that in our hearts, and that's why, you know, anytime we have a family gathering, we try to get together here at the home place, because this is where we all grew up. And again, I think that's something that's somehow in every human, whether they realize it or not, there's a little bit of agriculture in you. And as far as being out here and being able to grow things, see the fruits of your labor come to life, or to weep with the land when it's dry and parched and cracking, or you just become a place. And I guess that's what I've become. This place is me, this place is my family, and it's not so big that we can't walk across it in a day. So like I say, we weep when the land weeps, we rejoice when it rejoices.